Coming up on Look Today, well, we've got continuing coverage of the award that Glens Falls Hospital received for its health quality in treating victims of extreme heart attacks. Plus, Warren County Sheriff's Office arrested a man after seizing a large quantity of explosives. More on that coming up. And the 2017 Shirt Factory open house in Glens Falls took place over the weekend. We were there. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program I sit down with Diane Labruzzo. She's the artistic director, Adirondack Ballet Theater, and we're joined by two young dancers, Marley Brogan and Amelia Holz, and they're here to talk about the upcoming production of The Nutcracker at the Wood Theater in Glens Falls. But I also sit down with Ann Schneider-Costigan. She's spokesperson for Prospect Center in Queensbury, and we're joined by Gary Eady. He's a board member for Prospect Center, and they're here to talk about the upcoming Festival of Trees in Glens Falls that's happening at the Queensbury Hotel. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, we've got continuing coverage of a story we told you about last week. Glens Falls Hospital received the Lifeline Bronze Receiving Quality Achievement Award. And the hospital was recognized for expediting the time it takes for patients to receive important life-saving treatment after a severe heart attack. Well, the achievement was awarded by the American Heart Association. Well, we spoke to Barbara McDermott. She's the Director of Critical Care and Cardiac Services.
I've been part of the cath lab since it opened, so that's probably where my passion comes from, is that I've been a cath lab nurse since it opened in 1996, and then we started doing PCI in 2003, so I've been part of that. And I've watched it grow, and it's been a really exciting piece for my career to do that and to help patients with heart disease.
Congratulations to everyone at Glens Falls Hospital. In other news, wow, check this story out. In a press conference today, Warren County Sheriff Bud York announced that the police seized a large quantity of explosives from an apartment complex in Queensbury. Now, at the press conference, Sheriff Bud York stated that they received a call for a domestic disturbance inquiry. Now, that happened late Sunday at the Montcalm Apartments. Now, at that time, they discovered the explosives. Well, the resident of the apartment who was arrested has been identified as Michael Young. Now, we were at the conference today where Sheriff Bud York spoke.
Again, we have no evidence whatsoever that there was any terrorism plotted, but if any of these explosives went off, it would have caused some considerable damage. So,
boy, you could say. Timothy Fisher, who's an explosives specialist for Warren County, spoke as well.
Well, any heat shock or friction could have caused this to happen. Mishandling. There was a cat in the apartment that could have jumped off of something. You don't know, but a lot of the igniters that were there, we were able to separate very quickly to prevent anything like that from happening.
And I think the person might have been a collector because some of the pieces were antiques, but that is a strange story. All right, switching from news to weather. Today saw some clear skies. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser with your first look weather update here on Look TV. Let's take a look at the maps for tonight. We have high pressure in control for much of the eastern half of the U.S. The nearest cold front making its way through parts of the Midwest. We have a warm front lifting over the Great Lakes, secondary high pressure near New England, as well as a cold front making its way out towards the Atlantic Ocean. We'll see very chilly temperatures, 12 in Albany, but 28 in Scranton, 9 in Bangor, Maine. We'll see temperatures drop to about 10 or so, 14 Clifton Park, 15 Fort Edward. So make sure you have the fireplaces really running and make sure you have the heat really cranking, because we're going to see some chilly temps with some wind chills potentially down to the single digits, and we could see even single digit readings towards the mountains. And you can see 13 in Whitehall and Greenwich, Fort Edward 15. We'll see as low as 12 degrees as we head towards Glens Falls, Parsville, Johnsburg towards 7 or so. We'll see mostly clear skies. It's going to help bring those temps down. Mostly sunny, but a rapid warm up back in the mid-40s or so on Tuesday. The wind chills will still be in the lower teens, partly cloudy as you walk out the door. 16 warming up to 22 by the end of the 8 a.m. hour. And looking at the extended, we'll at least be in the 40s for highs pretty much the entire forecast period. Plenty of sunshine as well. Lows will be moderated as well, back in the 20s, 30s or so. Friday is going to be the messiest weather day of the next 5, 60% chance of showers, but otherwise relatively dry forecast across the Tri-North counties as well as the Capital District here in New York State. That's a look at the first look weather update. Meteorologist Clarence Sponsor. Now let's send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks very much, Clarence. Back to the news. Well, the 2017 Shirt Factory Holiday Open House in Glens Falls took place over the weekend. Now, the open house showcases a wide variety of artisans and featured handcrafted works, jewelry, paintings, fabrics, even candles. Now, another open house is scheduled to take place Saturday, December 9. We spoke to Eric Unkauf. He's the owner of the Shirt Factory building.
The open house we had was great. We saw a lot of old friends that have been here before, but we also saw a lot of new faces and made a lot of new friends, and everyone had a great time here shopping at the Shirt Factory and seeing all the variety of what there is that we have to offer here.
Now, the Shirt Factory, by the way, is a wonderful place to find a gift. All handcrafted stuff. It's great. Up next, I sit down with Diane Labruzzo. She's Artistic Director, Adirondack Ballet Theater, and we're joined by two very talented young dancers, Marley Brogan and Amelia Holst. They're here to talk about the upcoming production of The Nutcracker at the Wood Theater in Glens Falls. I also sit down with Ann Schneider-Costigan. She's spokesperson for Prospect Center in Queensbury. And we're joined by Gary Eady. He's board member for Prospect Center. And they're here to talk about the upcoming Festival of Trees that's happening this weekend at the Queensbury Hotel in Glens Falls. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on our hotline, 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Monday, so we like to look ahead. But before I get to that, during the break, we received a call from a viewer concerned about the story we told you about concerning that individual with the explosives. So I just want to embellish that a bit. First, there'll be more follow-up stories on this throughout the week. But the person worked in the demolition industry. So to this person, it wasn't very unusual to have explosives. Now, whether he was registered to have them or not, we don't know. He was arrested, and there will be follow-ups on this tomorrow and in following days this week. And we'll keep you posted, okay? But as of this point, no terrorism or anything like that. It's Monday, so we like to look ahead. We have the Spirit of Christmas fundraiser. We're doing an interview on that. The Upstate Model Railroad is coming in. This will be a fun interview. Pat Friesen is coming in regarding Whispering Angels. You want to see that interview? Doug Beatty is coming in. So we're going to find out what's going on in Warren County. And someone from the Hyde Collection is coming in as well. All right, tonight on Look TV, it's Beyond the Headlines. I think Ed Bartholomew is a guest. And Tracks, our music show. And yes, we are doing new tracks. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.